Penguin Chick by Betty Tenham, illustrated by Helen Davies. A freeze wind howls, it whips snow across the ice. Here, a female emperor penguin has just laid an egg. It is the only egg she will lay this year. Most birds build nests for their eggs, but on the ice in Antarctica there are no twigs or leaves. There is no grass or mud, nothing to build a nest with, nothing but snow and ice.
The new penguin father uses his beak to scoop the egg onto his webbed feet. He tucks it under his feather-covered skin, into a special place called a brood patch. The egg will be as snug and warm there as if it were in a sleeping bag.
One of the penguin's parents must stay with the egg to keep it warm. But where the penguins lay their eggs, there is no food for them to eat. The penguin father is bigger and fatter than the mother. He can live longer without food, so the father penguin stays with the egg while the mother travels to the sea to find food. The two penguins sing together before the mother penguin leaves.
Along with many other penguins, the mother penguin leaves the rockery where she laid the egg. The mother walks or slides on her belly. This is called tobogganing. She uses her flippers and webbed feet to push herself forward over ice and snow.
Because it's winter in Antarctica, water near the shore is frozen for many miles. After 3 days, the mother penguin comes to fish at the end of the ice. She dives into the water to hunt for fish, squid, and tiny shrimp-like creatures called krill.
Back at the rockery, the penguin fathers a group called a huddle. They stand close together for warmth. Each one keeps his own egg warm. 2 days pass before the mother can hear the father penguin's call.
At last the mother arrives at the rockery. She cuddles close to her chick and trumpets to him. He whistles back. With her beak she brushes his soft gray down. The mother swallowed many fish before she left the ocean. She brings home some of his food back up from her stomach and feeds her chick. She has enough food to keep him fed for weeks. He stays on her feet and snuggles into the broad patch.
The father is very hungry, so he travels to open water. There he dives to hunt for food. Weeks later, the father returns with more food for the chick. Each day, the parents preen or brush the chicks down coat with their beaks. This keeps the down fluffy, keeps the chick warm.
As the chicks get bigger, he and the other chicks no longer need to stay warm on their parents' feet. Instead, they stay together to keep warm. This group of chicks is called a creche or a nursery. The chick now spends most of his time here, but he still rushes to his mother or father to be fed when either one comes back from the ocean. Sometimes the chick and the other young penguins dig their beaks into the ice to help them walk up a slippery hill. The toboggan down fast on their fluffy bellies.
The chick grows and grows. After 5 months, he has grown into a junior penguin. He is old enough to travel to the ocean. Now he has a waterproof coat of feathers. Instead of fluffy down, he can swim in the ice cold ocean because his father keeps him dry and warm.
The young penguin spends most of his time in the water. He swims, flapping his flippers as if they were flying underwater. He uses his webbed feet to steer wherever he wants to go. He catches fish with his beak and swallows it head first.
Now the young penguin can catch his own food and take care of himself. In about 5 years, he'll find a mate. Then he'll take care of his own egg until the chick can hatch.
Find out more about penguins. There are 17 different kinds of penguins. All penguins catch their food in the ocean. They live on fish, squid, or shrimp like krill. Only emperor penguins lay their eggs on ice. All other penguins lay their eggs on land, and most build nests. King penguins from large rookeries on islands north of Antarctica. After the mother has laid her single egg, she and the father take turns keeping it in their brood patches. Sometimes hundreds of ADL penguins live in one rookery on the coast of Antarctica. In the spring, adelies build nests of stone and pebbles. Parents lie on the nests and tuck the eggs into their brood patches. They take 2-week turns. Rockhoppers often jump into the ocean feet first instead of diving in like many other penguins. They build stone nests in large rookeries on land. The mother lays 2 eggs but can only raise 1 chick. The stronger of the 2 chicks survives.
Jackass penguins bray like jackass or donkeys. They live in the southern coast of Africa with their beaks and feet. Jackass dig nesting tunnels in the soil. If the soil is too hard to dig, they build a nest with swing and sometimes pebbles on the top of the ground. Little blues and fairy penguins are the smallest penguins. They live in Australia and New Zealand. Little blues make their nests out of dirt and stones in burrows and caves. The mother lays 2 eggs and the parents take turns keeping the eggs warm and feeding the 2 chicks. Walk like a penguin. Take off your shoes and hold your feet close together. Put a raw potato on your feet. Walk by shuffling your feet forward just a little at a time. This is how penguin fathers walk when they carry their eggs. Be careful not to drop your egg. To bong like a penguin, lie down on a smooth surface such as a beef floor. Use your hands and arms to push yourself forward. Your toes can help too. This is how penguins to bong over ice and snow.